everyone. So this is Almas. I'm here with another episode of Coffee with Scientists. Today's episode we have Amnah Mahroo. She is a Marie Curie Fellow. In her second year of PhD, she has done her master's and graduation from NUST, Islamabad, Pakistan. So I'm going to invite her in our conversation and let's see what she's going to share with us.
Hi, Almas.
Hi, Amna. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
So tell us something about yourself, where you're coming from, about your educational background.
I'm from Islamabad, Pakistan. I did my bachelor's and master's from NUST. And then currently I'm doing my PhD in neuroimaging from Germany.
Neuroimaging. So, I mean, it's a very difficult subject. How you chose this subject?
Yeah, so I did my master's thesis in a bit of neuroimaging topic, which was linked to brain connectivity analysis, and we were seeing like how one part of the brain influences activity in the other part, and from there I got to know about there is this whole science which exists behind that, and then I applied for another position which was related to assessing how the blood-brain barrier works, and particularly we are looking at how what changes in the blood-brain barrier occur with age and in specific neurodegenerative diseases. So right now I'm working in that domain.
So you're always into, PhD, that, okay, one day I need to be a PhD, and what are your plans, later after you complete your PhD? You want to be a scientist, hardcore scientist, or?
So when we were doing our bachelor's, we were always told that you have to do PhD to become a recognized researcher. So it was always in our mind, in our minds at that time when we were doing our bachelor's, our master's. So the goal was to at least do PhD and become a researcher. So I do plan to continue the research. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go for a postdoc or in academia or industrial job, but yeah, one thing I know is I'm going to continue as a researcher.
So you're a Marie Curie Fellow. How is it to be a Marie Curie Fellow?
It's a very nice scholarship, very nice, prestigious fellowship, and some of the perks which comes with it are you get a travel fund, a very generous travel fund. You get a very nice salary, and I think the highlight should be that the procedure is not so difficult to apply for it and to get it. So I would recommend it to everyone to apply for it, to come to Europe and then explore it, and also work with some world-class researchers in the field of academia as well as in industry.
So how was the process of getting a PhD abroad from Pakistan? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Share some of your experiences.
So I applied for my PhD when I was in Canada. So I think it wasn't that difficult for me because I got really good advices and suggestions from some of my friends. And I would like to mention Farah, especially because some of your viewers already have seen her. So she gave me some tips and tricks to how to formulate the documents, what to focus on, what not to focus on. So I think those things are, or you can say that guidance is something which leads to a successful application and getting a very nice PhD or job. Yeah, so it wasn't so difficult.
So would you please share some of those tips, because as you're saying, it was not that difficult. I know some of our fellow friends back home from Pakistan, they complain a lot about these fellowships. So any guidance to all those friends?
Yeah. First, I would recommend not to worry about it. It's not so difficult. It's not a very hi-fi science. You don't need to be very you don't need very technical skills for that. And the procedure is very easy. They have a very nice portal. You can go there and you can find all the relevant projects, and then you directly apply to the person who is posting. So it could be your supervisor, it could be someone from the industry. So whosoever is hosting that position, you directly get in contact with them. And that's how you're going to find about all the positions that are being advertised. Second
Mm-hmm.
step would be, for me, it was easy because there were not too many requirements. So there are two basic things, I guess: your nice CV and a very precise cover letter or a motivational letter. So if you know how to write those, I think it's going to be an easy thing.
How to make a nice CV, because when you are sitting in Pakistan and you want to apply abroad, so there's some of my friends actually, they sometimes even they send me their CVs and they're like 5, 6, 10 pages. So
Mhm.
what would you give your advice to all those? Is
Yeah.
it good to have long CVs? It's not recommended.
Personally, I would never suggest that to have a very long CV. It should, that's my personal opinion and some sort of experience as well. Keep it short, keep it limited to 2 pages only, and highlight only the specific things which are required. You can also find very nice templates and do search if and it would be nice to focus one region first. So if you want to apply within Europe, there are certain standards, there are certain requirements, but they are different from the requirements which from the requirements of US and Canada. So you should first know where you're applying to. And secondly, keep it short, keep it precise. I think 2 pages are enough for your education backgrounds, for some of your research projects which you have worked on, at any publication which you have. Just shortly also mention any of your accomplishments or scholarships. And I think another important thing is your extracurricular experience, because it also matters that you are a team player. You can work uh, outside of academia or outside of your uh, research topics. So I think those things are also important, and all that can be done in 2 pages. You don't need 6, 7, 10 pages for that. So I would recommend having only 2 pages.
Okay, what I feel that you're suggesting to have a skill-based CV where people
Yeah.
they need to focus more on what they know. They have
Hmm.
leadership qualities. They are into teamwork, because these are the things that actually we require for working in a lab
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
So this brings me to my next question. What are those specific qualities that a researcher should have?
Hmm. I think first is eagerness to learn and being flexible and open to learn new things rather than being very rigid. And the others would be to be consistent, and do the hard work, because that's your life. I think if you are a researcher, then you are always working and you are always learning new stuff. And I think these 2 or 3 things are the core things,
So
or the
you
core
were being
points.
brought up from, your family is from Pakistan. You did your master's from Pakistan, and then you shifted to Canada. From Canada, you went to Germany.
Yeah.
How was that journey? And would you like to share any hardships that you had or some success stories?
Yeah. So actually, I first got married and then I moved to Canada, uh, moved in with my husband there. And there I also spent some time getting to know the system there. I did volunteer work in a lab where something relevant was going on related to my master's thesis. I also took a programming related course there. So that transition of coming from a developing country to a developed country was, to me, a very smooth. when you move to another country, I think it's nice to keep in touch with your work, or I would say just academia if you are coming from a research point of view. So that wasn't too difficult for me to get there and know the environment. And then when I was there, I was actually completing my master's at that time. I wrote my thesis, and then I started looking for PhD positions. So I think another thing which helped me getting position comparatively easily was because I also worked in Canada. So my recent, you can say, work experience was in a lab in Canada. So
Okay.
those who
Mm-hmm.
are outside Pakistan already, I would highly recommend to go there and have some experience. And don't worry for whether it's funded or not, you are getting some money out of it or not. I think experience is the thing which you need at that time. So get some professional experience which you can add to your CV, and I think it's going to help you a lot in getting a nice scholarship, because it will be a highlight or the most updated experience in there. And then I started looking for PhD positions. I was already interested in um searching positions related to Europe, and especially this Marie Curie fellowship. And I never actually applied for any other position. So there were some projects there which I liked, and then I applied for them, and I got shortlisted for almost, I think, 7 to 8 projects, for which then I gave some interviews, and then I chose this position.
That's great. You just said that you are married. So how
Yeah,
you deal with the work-life balance?
I think if your partner is very supportive and flexible, I think it's not a problem, because we both, my husband is a teacher, he's teaching high school students, and he is also very early in his career. So we both are on the same page. There are times when he's very busy, and there are some times when I am very busy, but there is that support for each other. So we do all the house chores together. Sometimes he cooks, sometimes I cook. So it's not a problem for us. So I think the support and understanding with your partner is something very essential if you are married, or if you are a family.
So before getting married, what are those criteria that every woman you think that should see in the life partner?
So it's a tough one. I think if you know a person who has a good character, and who has a understanding to life same as yours, I think those two things would be could make a good match, I would say. So the first one would be the flexibility of the person. If you're coming, especially if you're coming from a research background, and if you want to pursue a career, the your partner should be supportive, I guess. And if he is, I think that's the best thing. Other than that, if your understanding matches with respect to life, with respect to, I would say, I'm because I come from Pakistan, so for me, religion also has some place in my life. So I preferred that as well. But I think if the number one would be a good understanding, and then would be flexibility.
Okay, so
Mm.
back home we have a culture of having, arranged marriages. So you would recommend that even a woman who would like to have arranged marriage, it's good if she wants to have a career, it's better to have some kind of conversation before.
Sure. I think we are in, 20th century. At least
Yeah.
some
Uh-huh.
understanding is, I think, required. I don't think so. As a human, I think we as an adult should know what the boundaries are. And if we are within those boundaries, I think conversations or getting to know the other person is a must, is a must. And because afterwards you're going to go through some very tough times if you don't know where the person is coming from the understanding point of view, what he or she is expecting from you. So I think and what are his point of view, his or her point of view on pursuing a career, I think at least these things should be discussed first, and within a limit, of course. So I think there is no problem with that. My family supported me. So keep your family in loop. Make some, I don't know, family functions, family gatherings, and talk to the person.
Okay, I specifically asked this question because the culture that we have,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sometimes gives so much pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, puts so much pressure on women, especially that, hey, if you're not going to get married, it means that, I mean, your life is nothing. You can
Mm.
do anything, but first you need to get married. So
Yeah,
if a woman would like to have career and obviously because of family pressure or because of her own will would like to get married, it's very important for having some conversations before marriage to avoid any
true.
kind of surprises later.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're gonna deal with it. No one, no one from your family has to go through it. You are the one in that, I would say, hardship alone. So I think it is required for you, and it would be nice to at least know what you are getting into or what you have to deal with for, I don't know, forever.
So Amna, every country has different culture.
Hmm.
Pakistan has a different culture. You're living right now in Germany, and Germans, they have different culture. What
Yeah.
is that one thing that you like within both cultures?
I am a big fan of my own culture. I think it's beautiful. We should carry it out, and there are some cultural things, there are some religious things which I want to keep with me. But at the same time, there are some other things like being very being punctual, being a good citizen. And I think all those moral values are very high in Germany. You would see it in a society, in a daily life. I think those things I like about Germany, which I try to adapt to. But there are some cultural, traditional values which I want to keep from my own country. So that I'm not like I'm gonna let go of my own cultural values or traditions, but at the same time, I also want to adapt, which I think is important to to have in a person. So all the moral values, all um, professional related, profession related abilities and capabilities and qualities. So I frankly, I just love how the Germans work. They are very professional. They are very punctual. They abide by the rules, and I think those things are a bit lacking back there in Pakistan. So I am happy actually to be here to learn all these, so that I could be a better person in long run.
Do you miss Pakistan?
I do miss my family is there. If I can go back and somehow get the same job, I would prefer that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how about food? Pakistani food. There are many people who travel abroad, but then it's a very big challenge for them to get adapted
Yeah.
to a food that has no masalas.
Yeah, um, that we had to go through. We are actually going through that problem as well, because European or German food to us is very bland and boring. So when we are outside, we prefer having some vegetarian stuff, which is I think nice because we as Pakistanis are not, too much into veggies. So we prefer having some vegetarian food, also because it's not so easy to get halal food. But at home, I just try to make, because I'm not so good at cooking, so I'm also learning that. But I try to put as many spices as I can just to satisfy my, the salivary glands. So that's how we maintain the balance.
Do you carry a bottle of spices or masalas in your bag as well?
No, because when you are with the group, with your research group, it doesn't look too nice, I would say. They may get offended. So, but it's nice to, have a touch of their culture as well. So we like to explore what they have. We may not like it, but it would be nice to, just
Uh-huh.
taste and explore that.
So I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to start my one thing moment, and what you're going to do is that you're going to answer me the question that I'm going to ask you just in one word
Mm-hmm.
or in one sentence, not more than that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
one thing that you would like to tell to your fellow scientists.
Be a team player.
Next question. One thing you would like to tell your family.
They are everything. I just love them.
One thing you would like to tell viewers in general.
Everyone can achieve whatever they want in their life. So keep doing the hard work.
Great. One thing that makes you proud of yourself.
I'm just at the start of my career, so I'm happy. I'm not exactly proud, but I'm happy that I'm doing what I wanted to do.
Okay, one person that contributed to what you are today.
My parents and specifically my father.
Okay, one most stupid question you are being asked in Pakistan.
Why are you studying so much? When are you gonna stop studying? Why are you doing PhD? So like people don't have the understanding that PhD is also like for a researcher, it's just a research. It's a career, it's a job. It's not like you're studying for FSC or 12th grade or something like that.
Okay, you're a female role model.
I actually take inspirations from real life people, like the people I know in my life or those people who I know personally. So there are many friends of mine who are actually married and they are having a very nice work and life balance. There's a friend of mine who has three kids, and the newborn is like a month, some months old, and she's doing her master's, and then she is planning to pursue PhD. So that understanding of the balance is, I think, lacking for a working woman. So I inspire those women who just know how critical that balance is and how important that balance is in their life.
Okay, what are those skills that are required for becoming a scientist?
Being
Mhm.
persistent and hard work.
Living a solo life or traveling alone is important.
As why alone? As in
I mean, to discover,
traveling.
because these days there's a trend that, okay, so go and explore the world alone.
Mhm,
Well, being a scientist as well, we keep on traveling, for example, at conferences and things like that.
mhm. I think traveling is essential. You need to go out of your so-called bubble. You need to learn that there are other cultures, there are other mindsets which exist, and we are just ignorant of them. So I think it's essential to know other countries, other places, other historical places. So it's a must. And I think we Pakistanis, because back there are not so many, I would say, opportunities, and we don't have exposure. But if you get a chance, I think it's just go outside and try to explore the world, which is not so developed, so that you can go into the real life
Mm-hmm.
to have some real life experience. Yeah.
Okay, one skill you wish you would be taught in childhood.
We don't go for foreign languages. We don't learn foreign languages. So, and then we are not open to it or used to it. And then we think it's too hard for us to learn a new language. So,
Do you have any hidden talents?
no, I don't think so.
Your future plans?
I'm gonna keep doing the research and I'm gonna keep exploring Europe and world. So that's on the list for now.
Last thing that you would like to say to all those young master's students who want to apply for Marie Curie fellowship.
Just go for it. Don't think that you are not worthy of it, or the others who have got were some sort of superheroes. You can do it, and just apply for it. You may face failure or rejections, but those are part of, I think, getting a PhD position or any position in life. So don't be scared and go for it.
Okay, thank you very much, Amna. It was really nice to have you on the show. I'm going to post the link of your LinkedIn, and would you like
Sure.
to help, students who would like to, who would have some questions from you?
Yeah, sure. Anytime. They can email me, they can contact me via LinkedIn. I can also send you my email address. It would be easier, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, and take care of yourself.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.